Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here to talk about Hillmont, the newest towers at SXSW, Towers 3 and Tower 4. And I'm so pleased today to welcome my guests. I have Sam, who is the president and broker of record of Stereon Realty. He's been a great big supporter for us over the last few years, and we're really happy to have him with us today. And I also have the principal and owner at Primont, Lori Attardo. Hi, Lori.
Hi there.
So
thanks for taking the time today to meet with us and for your continued support of SXSW.
Yeah, so take it away, Sam. You're welcome to ask any questions you like.
Awesome. Thank you, Krista. Thank you for the introduction. And obviously very pleased to have Lori on this session with us to talk about the hottest project in the city, Hillmont. All right. So just before we start, usually we interview a lot of developers, and the first thing is, just to talk about the history of the brand and obviously what you stand for and what you represent. So very quickly, I would like to say Primont has been a huge, phenomenal brand in the real estate space. We've done a lot of work in the low-rise segment of the market, and obviously high-rise as well. So just in a nutshell, just tell us a little bit more about Primont and what your philosophy is.
Sure. So Primont Homes was incorporated by my dad, Giovanni Montesano, just over 50 years ago. And we were predominantly a low-rise builder and developer. And just recently, the last 5 years, we decided to come into the high-rise market, and the company is now run by myself and my brother Joe and my husband Charles as well.
Awesome. So that history is obviously amazing. It's really rich. 50 years of being in this industry is amazing. That's longevity that a lot of developers never see. 1971 must have been one heck of a year. I
wouldn't know because I wasn't born yet, but I'm here.
Very true. But that legacy of building amazing real estate and great communities is significant, and that obviously speaks to pedigree of excellence and pedigree of wanting to maintain a recipe of providing value to a marketplace that needs it. So in speaking about that, just want to jump right into the project at hand. Hillmont is a sequel, I would say, to the success that you've already had in this pocket. So just in a little bit, just tell us a little bit more about the SXW opportunity. We were obviously opportune to be part of the first phase and the second phase, and we've pushed on every other release. So just in your own words, what was the philosophy, what was the mindset behind this? And obviously what made the first few buildings a success, and I think what would make this release a success as well?
So when we purchased the land a few years ago, really what attracted us to the development, and when we're looking at pieces of acquiring land, what we want is really location is key to us, but what really stood out here was it's a 42-acre site with 30 acres of ravine.
Right.
So that really spoke to us, and we wanted to bring something different to the market. So what that helped us do was create this vision of bringing a resort-like community to Vaughan, because we haven't seen one yet. So Tower 1 was launched a couple of years ago, and followed by Tower 2 last year, and those were both a great success. And in the meantime, we're working on the design of Tower 3 and Tower 4. So where Tower 3 and 4 are unique, I don't really want to say that we've saved the best for last, because I think the whole community is great.
Right.
But this is where we really get to take advantage of the ravine and the views that the two towers have to offer. So we've worked with a great team. Quadrangle is the architect, so they really helped us design suites that took advantage of those views.
Right.
We've worked with Figure 3 as our interior designer to help us bring functional suites to the marketplace, not just a certain square footage, but really making the space functional for an investor and family. Yeah, and then the outdoor amenities that we've been able to offer, such as the walking trails within the ravine, the outdoor basketball courts and bocce courts, Tower 3 and 4. We're able to offer a water feature on the 4th floor where you have the outdoor like barbecue and entertainment spaces. We've incorporated a splash pad for the kids. So we've really tried to take as many of those resort-like features and bring them into this community.
That's good. No, that's amazing. And I think to your point, the architecture and obviously the amenities combined with the location is what makes this an amazing opportunity for end users and investors. And I think you spoke vehemently well to the location, which, I mean, you're looking at Islington as a hot spot and just very close to Toronto, obviously. And what I love about it is just a walking distance from this site, you would be able to hop on a TTC. So
Yes.
basically you have a Vaughan address, but you have a Toronto benefit, right?
And not only that, we've also been able to provide a free shuttle from the building to the VMC, which we're an 8-minute drive to the VMC, and also to York University during like those peak travel hours. So even if you don't have a car, no need to worry about that. It's covered. So really, that also brings in that resort feature of, you know, leaving your front door and hopping on a shuttle and not having to worry about driving.
Absolutely. I was actually going to jump to that. I think that was actually what made, Tower 1 and 2 a huge success, because people were thinking about the same thing, proximity to the VMC and obviously to York University. Those are two major amenities that people want to get to. A lot of investors here might have students living in this space or in their units. And if you're working downtown or anywhere else in the city, being able to jump on a shuttle to get to Vaughan is amazing. So I'm sure that would be one of the other success factors for Towers 3 and 4. So since we've said that, I think the second question I asked was a little loaded, and it had a little bit of these components into it. So we've talked about it, and we can move on to the other questions that we have here. So, when you think about a master plan community, sometimes you think of obviously supply into a pocket. And the questions that I get asked by investor clients is, wouldn't there be almost like cannibalism in a master plan community where you have too many of the same units or too many of the same products in one space or in one pocket? What would you say about that in terms of this master plan community? How would that be different? What are we doing differently? That would obviously make this appealing.
Sure. So I think what we've done different from Tower 1 and 2 is really we've listened to the marketplace and to both the investor and the end user, and we found a sweet spot to be in that 600 square foot range. So we've developed some 1 bedroom plus den in that. We've got a great selection of units: 1 bedroom plus den, 1 bedroom plus flex, 2 bedroom plus 2 bath. So we've really listened to what the market is looking for, and we're able. We've learned from Tower 1 and 2, and we're able to bring in some, a great mix of suites to Tower 3 and 4.
Beautiful. That's amazing. So you won't have competing opportunities, so to say, competing suites. There would be uniqueness in everything that's being offered. That's really, really impressive. And I know you're very busy, executive. You run one of the biggest development firms in the city, so I wouldn't want to keep you for too long on this. But the other question that I obviously love to present to developers like yourself is in line with having a great location, having great amenities. People obviously want to know what are the incentives, right? How do we get in? Why are we getting in first? What is the benefit of getting in first? What's the benefit of calling Sam, if anything, right? So
I'll let Krista speak to that, because you'll get more details tomorrow, but Krista will give you some more details on that.
Awesome.
Yes, well, I mean, Sam, you've been a huge supporter. We go way back, many years ago, and I know that, you definitely are a top producer out there, and you do get first access and you do get the best selection of units. So, I mean, with that being said, we're going to be releasing everything tomorrow: pricing, floor plans, incentives. I will give you a sneak peek that we will be packaging in parking and locker included, like we did with Tower 1 and 2.
Right.
And we're priced very competitively. So I think overall, I mean, Lori mentioned all the great points. We've got resort style amenities that we're offering with Tower 3, Tower 4. We've got an amazing floor plate. So all the units are really, really well designed. A good package put together. And like she said, these buildings are the best for less. They're positioned, Tower 3 looking south. You're looking clear into the city on a clear day, and facing west as well, looking onto the ravine, so sunsets. And Tower 4 will be on the heels of that. So, I mean, you don't come across too many master plan communities positioned right on the ravine.
Right. And that's really amazing. And for everyone that's going to be watching and listening to this, all the points that Chris has just put out is obviously amazing. Free parking and free locker in the GTA, anywhere in the GTA right now is like, jump on it with 2 hands and 2 feet and just cover it up and run away. but just in addition to what the conversation is about, Primont, and I love the legacy that has been built here. And I think what comes to mind is pipeline. What makes a developer, reputable is not just what you have right now, but what you have coming. So feel free, Lori, to tell us a little bit more about what you have coming.
So, as I mentioned, we started about 5 years ago in the high-rise sector of the market. So our first launch was M Condos in Brampton, and we're excited to announce that it's currently being occupied.
Nice.
So, and shortly after that, we launched our Montverde, which I believe you and your team were part of. And that was a great success in Brampton as well. Later this fall, we'll have another release coming to Brampton, so you'll be receiving some information about that soon. And as well, we've got some high-rise developments coming in Thornhill, Cornell, and Milton. And that's all aside from our low-rise projects, which have also kept us busy throughout the GTA and expanded throughout Ontario as well.
Right. I love the North Oakville project. That was really amazing. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So that's really great. So just to kind of wrap this all up, but what do you see as the future of Woodbridge? What would be the I guess the hot spot in Woodbridge? What would be the opportunity out there?
Well, I think this is the hot spot. I don't.
Not like we didn't know that.
I think this is the hot spot. I think. Really, with all the construction happening in Vaughan, like in central Vaughan, it's a little more congested. We have the advantage of we're just outside of that, downtown core of Woodbridge, where, as someone mentioned to us earlier today, is kind of like the urban Vaughan that we're part of. But what I think is that, like with all this new construction, it's really, changing the landscape of Vaughan. I mean, 10 years ago, we didn't see any high rise there, and now driving through there, it's completely changing the landscape. And I think we're coming into Vaughan at this point in time. We're lucky as well because we're coming into a community that's already established and built. So the amenities like the hospitals, the great schools, we're happy to be part of a community that is also investing in their infrastructure. So like recently with the opening of new Vaughan Cordalucci Hospital. So I think they see that with, this population, increasing in Vaughan, that they're also keeping up with the demands.
Right. And that's amazing. I mean, with this level of demand, you definitely need the infrastructure and the amenities to keep it going, to keep people interested, and to keep the community growing, because we don't see anything down anytime soon. So it is pretty amazing to see what Primont Homes is doing in this pocket. I can only imagine that the future holds a lot of great potential and possibilities for yourself, your husband, and your brother. We definitely appreciate the privilege to be a part of this growth and success. And the Starion brand obviously is also blue. So just so you keep that in mind.
I will.
And we appreciate the opportunity at any given point in time to see great leadership in the industry and, just the legacy. I'm always all about legacy, building a legacy of generational wealth. And I think yourself and your husband and your brother, in line with what your father, your parents put in place, have just continued that legacy, which is amazing. It's amazing for someone like myself to watch and to take notes. So even from this conversation, I am taking notes, and hopefully one day we'll be in the space as well.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Appreciate the time. And for everyone watching, you've heard it here first. And if you've not heard it here first, just believe that you heard it here first. Okay, you are getting free parking and free locker, and there will be so much more that will be released and announced in the coming days. I believe tomorrow, the package and all will be sent out to everyone, and we appreciate your time, and we look forward to doing more deals with you. Okay, all right.
Great. Thank you so much, Sam, for all your support, and we look forward to selling lots of units together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Lori. Thank you to the entire team.
Okay,
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.